I am so excited. I feel like I haven't done a get ready with me in so long. I've got a bunch of questions because I asked you guys on Instagram for some questions. I just have a feeling that this one's gonna be good. I don't know. Oh, I also, maybe that's why I feel like this one's gonna be good, ate some gummies. I ate like 3 or 4 gummies, so that's what's going on. My mouth is super dry already because when I went to film, like I was like, oh, I'm gonna, like these will hit like while I'm filming, you know? And I went to start filming and my SD card was full, so I had to like go get all that footage, put it on my hard drive. I deleted off the SD card, like double checked that I had it before I deleted it, you know. So then now we're here. I have a feeling they're gonna keep hitting because for me, like some people feel them really fast. I normally feel them like, you know, it's like from 1 hour to like 6 hours, and I'm like, that's crazy. It's not like shrooms. But like for me, sometimes they don't hit like right away. They might hit after like an hour or so, but then I feel like they hit the hardest for me at like 2 hours sometimes. I have a theory that like certain times when I eat certain things, like I haven't even figured out what food does what, but certain foods or certain meals kind of like accelerate the edibles. Like they play well together. Unlike alcohol, I feel like when you eat, you sober up, but on edibles, I don't know if that's the case at all. I didn't style my hair at all today, so ignore the fluff we got going on. I'm gonna pull this. I'm not gonna pull it back. If you guys ever see me in a ponytail like that, it's a rare day. I think that's funny that I even like went to do that. Who am I when I'm under a light and camera? I don't know. Anyways, I hope you guys are having a great day so far. If you're new, make sure to subscribe, join the fam, and drop a like on this vid because that helps so much. If I'm looking like absolutely all over, it's because I've got 2 mirrors, both like one here, one there, so like neither of them are looking directly at the camera, but it kind of keeps me from just like staring like down the whole time, you know? Before I dive into these questions and start on my makeup, I want to give a little moment to today's sponsor, Daily High Club. You guys, if you've been here, you know them. They literally are here every month. They're the best. This is the mob theme box. Look at this art. I was like, that is so sick. I knew I was gonna love this box the second I saw this. Are you kidding? These boxes are on the affordable side. I think they're $30, but they have everything you need to smoke some weed, literally. And every box comes with like a custom bong. And recently they've been sending a Silla pipe, which are like these silicone little pipes. So I'm sure, I think I see them already. Are you kidding? I love them because like the head on all of them is a little stash compartment. Some packing peanuts. Oh, I see a dab tool. That's lit. I actually have some rosin right now. Not that I need any. It's like a little Hot Wheels Daily High Club street sweeper. Does it like, oh, hold on. It has like a little broom on it. Is this for like cleaning up your keef and it looks like a little car? That's so cute. You just drive them on around. The piece, I'm seeing some wraps, some True Hemp mango wraps. These look really good actually. And I'm pretty sure I know what these are, yeah, from the back of them. Some $100 bill rolling papers. I feel like when I first started smoking, these were like the rage to me. Anytime I saw them, I was like, I want those. They're always so much more than like the normal like classic raw. It's so cute that they're making it look like it's like a $2,000 band on there. Kind of want to open the piece. I normally wait till the end, but I'm going in. Oh, it's matte. Look how sick. That's so pretty. And it has like the glossy finish on the windows. That's dope. I think it's really going to function good. I'm excited to hit it. We've got a little bowl piece in here, but I'm also seeing a banger. I feel like they're really good for that. They do give you a lot of options. So if you want to use it for flower or for bud, you could. And then they've got like a whole little dab kit. That's where the banger's in here. I'm seeing a dab tool and a dab mat. That's sick. They also sent over a 25% off subscriber appreciation card using code MAFIA for the store. Not the boxes, because these are already such like at a value discount. They sometimes sell like the pieces if they do well after the fact on the site, but they're like 3 times the cost. They'll be like damn near $100, and I think these are like $29, $30. So huge shout out to them. All right, function. Oh my gosh, the function's like weird.
It's the perks up at the front of the car.
Okay, that's more like you have to tilt it down there to kind of get into that perk a little bit.
I really like that piece.
My new torch, I'm so excited for this. It doesn't have like the same trigger issues as my old one did. She's nice and warm. I'll show you the rosin I got. This is some orange balm that I pressed. I actually did it in another video. I don't know if you'll see this or that first. I don't want it to fall out of there. This is what we're looking like. We've smoked a lot of it. It's quite delicious, but I'll just take a little one. Rosin always like hits back, not like in the sense of like I'm gonna be so stoned, but like it has like this delicious aftertaste that I feel like makes you cough so hard, which like I don't know if that's just me, but rosin gets me coughing. I don't have my dab right over here, so I don't know what temp this is, but cheers. Wow, that tastes delicious. For some reason, I used this crusty dab tool stuck to my desk instead of like the brand new one. I just now realized that. They're both like sitting here and I was like, I didn't like use my gold one? But yeah, huge shout out to Daily Heck Lab for sponsoring today's video. Now, let's get ready. I'm excited to answer y'all's questions. What are some ways that you keep your lungs and overall body safe and healthy when smoking? And I think smoking and health don't really go hand in hand. I think if you want to be smart and like save your lungs or like give them some longevity, vaporizing in the sense of like dry herb vapes, dabs, edibles obviously are phenomenal. If you like edibles, I love a good edible. I think there are a lot of good benefits to weed, even if you are smoking it, even though like smoking isn't obviously like the smartest way to consume it, I guess, if you're talking like health wise, because you can do like the tinctures, the edibles, they have like transdermals. Whenever I am taking like a bong rip or something like that, I always use like a little Moose Labs filter. A must. You guys are always like, what are those? And I don't know, if you try them, it's crazy. It feels like you're hitting a vaporizer. It like thins out the smoke, and if you see them, they catch so much of the like tar that you would be inhaling. And not that you don't inhale it, but it's not going like down your throat. 5-6 hits in a bong and like they're fucking clogged. So that doesn't tell you anything about like our lungs are powerful little things, that's for sure. On the side of like lung health, that has nothing to do with like how you should consume. A lot of people like smoke mullein, and I personally have mullein tea that like that's very much like in my mind way better than smoke. Is just not great for the lungs in general. They don't enjoy that. So smoking mullein, even if it is good for the lungs and has good properties, I can't imagine smoking it is the best way to consume it. I've been putting like probably like half and half mullein tea and like lung health tea with like a mint cacao tea, and it's so good. I actually need to order more right now, but it's delicious. Right after a little sesh, tea just like calms your throat so well. And I always put some honey in it. Like raw honey goes crazy. This question, I got asked so many different variations of like the same thing so much. Tips on social media growth, especially for people within the cannabis space. I genuinely think that, I feel like this is kind of a sad answer. Like the way I got into this is just by like posting a lot. Like I started posting and the videos were getting some views, so that like kind of encouraged me. And then I continued posting. Literally, I think my posting schedule in the beginning was Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and sometimes Sunday. That's 5 days a week. Like, girl, YouTube does not pay me, which is crazy, but like I feel like that's what everybody does in the beginning of their YouTube channel when they're like starting to get some followers, but not like crazy, like 1,000 followers. And then you're like, oh my gosh, like I'm building a platform, and you get so excited by it that every day you film. And it's such an easy task in the beginning, especially because like, you know, burnout and like working through all this kind of shit is definitely a thing, and coming up with ideas. In the beginning, you've got like a list this long of ideas, all this creativity going. And then I feel like it can get difficult to think of like
it's especially discouraging for weed creators because you never will or literally never have or will get a paycheck from YouTube.
That's what I was gonna say. It's kind of a dying art. Like, yeah, you can do it and have fun with it, and it is fun. It's a great community, and I love you guys here so much. But like every weed or weedy content creator that I can literally think of, like dropping names, we've got Eric Kahn, Life Being Dest, Peyton B, but everybody so far is like also looking for other sources of revenue. This is a great like way to make a little bit of money off of sponsors and have a community, and it's really fun. Like it's a good hobby, I guess, but like I have a merch brand, Life Being Dest. I know that like she's been talking about kind of switching to like vlogs and doing some non-weedy content. She's got a podcast, like different ways to make revenue, because it's like always a hustle, you know, to try to be paying the bills just off like sponsors, since there's no monetization. It's not like, oh, let me just post an extra video this month and get some bread. That's not really, YouTube doesn't really allow cannabis influencers even to be in the program, which is like real shitty, because what if I just wanted to post a vlog? Peyton, I think, does OnlyFans. Bentley Blaze does OnlyFans. Mac Dizzle does OnlyFans. Koala Puffs has like a whole business. It's just like every single one of them not only are cannabis content creators, but they're businessmen and women. Like they're just doing the damn thing, if that makes sense. And if that's what you want, like go for it. I just wish they would like allow cannabis creators into like the monetization aspects, because that would encourage so many people to like want to do what we're doing, which might be why they're not doing that. It's becoming more legal. It doesn't really make that much sense. It's just like stupid political bullshit. How can it be legal in almost every single state, yet like YouTube is like, not only do they age restrict absolutely everything, like they're good on that too. They crack down on that shit. Some people might get like 20 minutes on age restricted and then they hit them with that age restriction, but they also don't let me monetize to the viewers I do get that are obviously of age. So it's like, that doesn't really make sense either, because I'm sure there are adult sponsors or sponsors that'd be perfectly fine with their advertisements running on like adult videos, you know? Duh, this is like the real fucking world. It's just so discouraging, honestly. And I don't know how to say that because it's like super sad. I mean, I did just say it, but like definitely do it if you want to. I recommend starting in like any niche like this that is like smaller. There's only like, you know, a handful of names that I even could just think of that are even in the like industry of content creation and cannabis. Even like people like Eric Kahn and Dope as Yola that are like the biggest of the big that I can think of. Eric does all kinds of stuff with like El Blunto, and like he has a podcast. He has his whole little like glass head shop type business going on. Yola has Push Trees and a huge podcast. Like they all just have other things going on that are monetizable, because YouTube is so like not allowing cannabis content creators to thrive. So it's a good way to like get started and get a platform, maybe, if that makes sense, like to do other things, be like, oh, like now I want to like make a brand. That's a great way to start. But other than that, it's a very sad truth. I hope that's not like too discouraging, because I think it's like still super fun and like I love what I do, even though it's definitely like a hustle. Somebody said, are you Italian? I am not Italian, which to be fair, I don't know what my father is. He's never taken like an ancestry DNA. I just assume like German. That's really what it's giving, to be honest. And my mother is Middle Eastern, so I'm a 50-50 split of Middle Eastern and whatever my dad is. So like mixed cracker and Middle Eastern. Somebody asked if I know any good cheap temp readers for dabs, and honestly I don't. Every cheap or like somewhat affordable temp reader I've ever used like really blows. They're so far off, it's crazy. It's better to just like 60 seconds on, like 30 seconds off, and like hope for the best. Give it a little like palm check. Yeah, Dabrite is like my favorite for those. They've got some cool stuff going on, and I find that they're pretty accurate, but those are not nowhere near affordable. They're probably like $200 or $300. Since you and Kyle are gardening, would you ever consider growing? Kyle and I kind of started gardening, because like it's super cool to grow your own food and like learn to do that. It's like a new skill set. I think it's so fun to learn new things. That's easily like one of my favorite like things to do in this whole existence, is like learn new things and do new things. But we kind of started gardening not only to like learn how to grow our own food, but to like learn to grow things in general. I think eventually we will definitely start growing. I think that growing food is definitely going to give us a leg up, like of dealing with all these different issues we've already dealt with. But like cannabis setups are kind of expensive. Like several companies have reached out to me and offered to like send me like tents and lights and like the whole shebang, which maybe I will have a sponsor when we do that. And I feel like I'm gonna do a whole series on it, like some Mr. Canucks ass shit. Can somebody please relay to NARS that their packaging for this absolutely sucks? And I think plenty of us have told them that, but they don't care. Fuck, marry, kill, bong, joint, pipe. I feel like right now I'm definitely killing the pipe, like definitely killing the pipe. The bong would normally be like my marry, but recently I've been more of a joint girl. So we're gonna fuck the bong and marry the joint. Let me know what you guys would pick out of those three in the comments. Fuck, marry, kill, bong, joint, pipe. I want every single one of y'all in the comments letting me know, because I think everybody has a preference and it's probably pretty split, but now I'm intrigued. I've definitely said this before, but for me the first time I ever hit a bong was like life-changing, like the filtration of it. But also I've always loved like the act of smoking a joint, just because like I don't know, facing a joint or a blunt has always been like everything to me. So how did your parents react when they found out you smoked? Well, like my mom kind of knew from the beginning. Like I literally told her straight up, like, yeah, I'm gonna try this. So like she knew and was like, I don't know, not like hiding it from my father, but they also weren't like together. So it wasn't like a secret. It was just kind of an untold truth, if you will. But then I eventually just told him because he was kind of like figuring it out on his own, I guess. Like just seeing like bongs left on like my counter in my room and being like, what the fuck is that? And I was just like, oh yeah, it's for weed. So yeah, and he always just thought that like as long as I wasn't like smoking nicotine, like tobacco was always like the devil to him. And he one time saw some jewel pods in like a little like ring holder on my desk in my bedroom, and he texted me, he was like, what the fuck are these? Because I guess he had heard about them like on the news or something. And I ended up saying they were my friends because he had been living with us for a little bit at the time because he had like a falling out with his parents, but like we still had to go to school, you know, type shit. And he was 18. So I was like, they're his because I'm not going to take that fall. I was a year younger than him. So I wasn't like, I was 17 at the time, not even like able to buy pods, but your girl definitely could have been mine. That's for sure. Could have been his. I think all the time that I should have documented my journey of like quitting because like it's literally just come up on like a year, not that long ago, on 4th of July. I literally quit on the 4th of July, which is like insane and chaotic, but like somehow fitting for like my life. The Charlotte Tilbury powder is actually phenomenal. I'm so picky and I don't really like powder on my skin, but this just like looks like skin. Like it sets so fucking good. It's the Airbrush Flawless Finish and it's a stupid fucking expensive, but my mom always kind of like vouched for me with my dad that it was like because of EDS and POTS and like all this shit that I had that it just helped my body pain. It helped me sleep. It just helped me regulate my life. So he was kind of like, okay, if you can see it benefiting her, then like I'll just let it be. What would you and Kyle be doing for a living if YouTube wasn't an option? That is seriously crazy. I am so grateful YouTube is an option and like content creation can be like quite lucrative, or you can create platforms that could be quite lucrative. Like, I don't know, it's crazy to me that like top influencers or like average like influencers that do it for a living, I don't know if it's like the average, I make like as much as fucking doctors make. And I'm not saying me, I'm kind of like in a, you know, like I said, cannabis creators aren't getting paid like the average influencer because YouTube literally doesn't pay us at all. So that doesn't help. But I think if YouTube wasn't an option, I don't know what I would be doing, because I've realized as I get older, it's very hard for me to like stand for long periods of time without like having a POTS episode. And by long periods of time, I mean like literally like 20 minutes can be far too long, which is crazy. My body is just like wildly overworked very easily. So I feel like a job like this, like some sort of like desk job slash like call job, just something like basic, nothing I'd give a fuck about type shit, you know what I mean? And I wouldn't like, I don't know, I'm very grateful. I like having my own business, or maybe even something like that, like making cupcakes out of my house or doing that, because I used to do that. I've had a home bakery, a whole little home bakery era, if you will. I already know how to make good baked goods, so I could definitely just do something like that, something somewhat creative, or make art of some sort and like sell it. But I think Kyle, I don't know, he probably want to do something like that too. Like ideally that's like what's more like fun or gives you a little bit of like creative freedom in your work. Like, you know, do what you love, you never work a day in your life. But Kyle, before this whole situation, worked HVAC for a while, like heating, ventilation, air, and cooling. Like a job that's like, I feel like anything in the trades like that is just super like not fun on your body. Like it's just very grueling work. I don't think Kyle would ever go back into like HVAC or anything like that. I 100% think he would go to culinary school and become like a chef, open a restaurant, or do something along those lines. Culinary school is something that we say like if we're wealthy, we would do it for fun, like not to like have to be a chef, because also extremely grueling, but kind of rewarding in a sense. Like I love seeing people eat my food. We always say one day we want to have a huge meet and greet and like us cater the food, like just make so much of the food that you guys see us make when y'all are like, you have the best munchies, y'all make the like best food. Do you want kids one day? Also, I'm using a City bronzer from Maybelline. This is really pretty. I like this bronzer a lot. But Kyle and I do not personally want kids at all, actually. I have a genetic disorder, so like the odds of my child getting that and like could have it way worse than me, that's like not really a risk I'm willing to take. So not biological kids. I also am just not like all that inclined to ever have children. I don't like love being around children. I like being around them for short periods of time. Like a babysitting gig is cool, but like I love the freedom of being able to send them off back to their house at the end of the night type thing. I've always thought, like, even as a kid, some kids I feel like just know they want to have like 12 kids or like 5 kids, or like, yeah, I want a huge family. And I was always like, I will be the cool aunt. Like, for me, I just don't think that's in the cards for like multiple reasons, like I just mentioned, but also like financials. I think this goes for anybody thinking about having kids. If you don't have like some serious financial stability, shouldn't be in the picture. If I did choose to ever like have a kid or adopt a child, I most definitely like would want to raise them on like better food, literally like the cheapest stuff in the stores. And although that shit tastes good, it can't be good for like developing little children. I mean, it can't be good for adults. So like I just think feeding it to children is wild. Like I grew up eating a lot of that stuff, and now I just have like a different stance on a lot of it. But I just couldn't see myself having kids and like the state of this economy, because like, first of all, am I gonna support them their whole lives? Because this shit is crazy, and it's getting even crazier. And like people are like, there's gonna be a collapse. Like this shit is damn near fucking, it's on the floor. How can it collapse? Like, you know what I mean? It's just crazy. So I know that everybody says that. Like when I was born, my parents, it's such a crazy world, like having kids. You had kids, not me. Like you brought me into this crazy world, and now I'm dealing with it. People their age, I'm being a little ageist here, but most of them have like homes and are like locked into mortgages, I feel like. Whereas like younger people like looking for like a first time home are not able to purchase these first time homes, because not only are they super expensive, but also nobody wants to get out of them, because if you were to like sell your house, you got to pay for another one at like a fucking crazy price. And then people are locked in, you know, their mortgages are like $1,000 a month. Like that's fucking crazy. Find an apartment like equal to half of a house for $1,000 a month. I don't even know of an apartment for like less than $1,200 a month. That's wild. But I just think too much, honestly. Like I would want insane financial stability, and I just don't have the desire to really have kids, so I don't think it'll ever come to fruition. I think a lot of younger people are really thinking twice before they're just like, oh, let's have a fucking family, because it is a lot. It's not just like, let's have a family. Like you're raising a whole ass person, and that person has like their own thoughts, their own identity, their own everything, you know? So I don't know. Animals are definitely going to be it for me in the sense of family. Like River is quite literally my child. I feel like I've always liked people, but like who doesn't like animals more than people, you know? Thoughts on nuns who smoke weed? That's fucking fire. I have my acupuncturist was like a nun, like a sister, and she's lit. She's great. She does amazing work. How did you and Kyle meet? I feel like I probably answered this a lot, but we met in high school. I'm about out of this brow wiz. That's sad. One of you guys said, what is your fave thing to cook at the moment? Love you, girl. Love you fucking too. My favorite thing recently, I'm kind of split. Y'all know I love so many different meals. I still love my like salmon and rice with some veggie situation. It's a garlic honey situation, and it's absolutely crazy. But recently I have to say, this pasta, I've been calling it like light Alfredo, but it's got like cherry tomatoes in it, and it pretty much is like an Alfredo, but it's got like a lot less butter, but it's so fucking good. I made some in like my last weekly vlog over on my other channel, but it is actually fucking insane. I got so many questions asking about what hair products I use, my curly hair routine, just literally everything. I posted something on my Instagram story the other day that was like, this is me 99% of the time that I am at home, and it showed a girl with curly hair, and her hair was just like in a top knot, like a really tight little bun, and I was like, that could literally be a picture of me. I feel like curly hair lives in a bun. I'm gonna go grab my hair product. I've shown you guys it a couple of times. I have it linked on my Amazon storefront. I buy a huge pump, but I think I have like the regular size bottle linked too, because I get like, just to try it, you're probably not gonna want to buy like the $60 pump of it, but it is amazing. I've tried literally everything. I've tried like the Pillow Soft from, I think it's Miss Jessie's. I could be wrong, but like, you know what I'm talking about? Kind of expensive. I think that's a couple more dollars than the product I've got, and it doesn't fully give what I need it to give. This is just like the perfect in between. Also for like a good heavier product, if you've got like really thick hair, the Shea Moisture, it's like an orange tub. I'll put a picture of it up, but that is a real good situation if you need something a little bit heavier than what I'm about to show you. But this is like, y'all need to try. It's genuinely life-changing information. This is the magic. It is Mixed Chicks leave-in conditioner. Now, a lot of people might think you need more than a leave-in. No, this does everything it needs to do. It's insane. It leaves your hair soft. Like, okay, I have like barely any in. I put like one pump in before I went to bed last night with wet hair and just said like, fuck it. But it leaves your hair so soft. Like mousse is just not the move whatsoever. It leaves your hair really hard and like wet looking. I've tried quite literally every product on the shelves, I feel like, and this is just it for me. I love it. It does everything it needs to do. Moisturize, control frizz. And also like we go through this bottle probably a little bit quicker than the average person because we both use it. I highly recommend this if you haven't like found your perfect product. Give this a shot. Let me know if you love it because I feel like this was life-changing for me. Mid makeup munch, let's go. Do you take tolerance breaks? Honestly, not really. Kind of to an extent, like some days, like with edibles, I don't try to eat them back-to-back days because then it kind of like shoots your tolerance. You have to eat, like eating the same amount won't give you the same effect after you've done it for like 2 or 3 days. I'm not always smoking, and I've went several days without like any THC at all, and like I don't tend to get really nauseous at all like without it, but I do struggle to sleep. That's like a big one for me. Like I can still eat and I still get like hungry. I'm just not like devouring like I would if I were like on edibles or just like had a sesh type situation. Like I probably eat a little bit less and have a lot worse sleep. I feel like I don't really hit as good of a REM sleep. I just try to wait till like kind of the end of the night to have a sesh if I'm gonna sesh. For so long I smoked all day, every day, 24/7 forever, but then like I thought about like the longevity of my lungs and was like, okay, so we want to preserve these. We want to be able to do this for a long time. Let's like not be fucking like dumb, okay? How do you deal with anxiety, whether that be social anxiety or just anxiety in general? I feel like I also got a couple questions like this. I thrive in social situations. Like I don't think I'm very socially anxious. I more have like health anxiety. Like I am very like tough on myself. Like if I'm not feeling good or I get sick, I'm like, how? Like girl, humans are literally more bacterial cells than like human cells. So like it makes sense that we sometimes run into like bad bacteria, I guess, and get sick. But also like I'm like, did I not wash my hands? Who was coughing on me? Like I like being healthy and well. Most sicknesses, like knock on wood, I never ever fucking get sick again in my dream world, right? But most of the time if I have a sickness, it just tends to be like the flu or like COVID, like something pretty harsh, and it damn near takes me out every time. Like it'll be like 3 weeks of me running like 100 and something degree fever. It's just never good. I have a really low immune system, and I think they're even like thinking that POTS is an autoimmune disease, which is very interesting, but like my immune system's never been good. I've always thought that like if there's sickness in like my friend pool or like even in school, it was so bad. Like if somebody had something, if something was floating around that school, I was getting it type shit. Like just always so sick. I'm hard on myself in that kind of sense. But when I start getting like panic attack type of anxiety, where it's just like this sudden, seemingly random wave of anxiety, I don't know. I just start deep breathing. I try to like in through my nose, out through my mouth. And I know this, I don't know if you have anxiety, this might really resonate with you. But as soon as I start doing that, I'm like, this is stupid. This isn't like how I normally breathe. So then I start like being anxious about like, I'm breathing like weird now. I get that that's like, you know, how you're supposed to deep breathe. But like who the fuck breathes like that, you know? Most of the time I try to take a nap. To be quite honest with you, I treat like anxiety like a migraine. I just lay down and I try to like meditation music it, just deep breathe, just reset and try to like re-regulate my system. What's the most amount of weed you smoke in a day? I want to say probably like an ounce, but probably several ounces. That's definitely underestimating. I've smoked like ounce joints just with like Kyle, and then like on shrooms, that's crazy. I can smoke so much. I feel like whatever your habit is on psychedelics, you just want to do and do an extreme absurd amount of. So like if you smoke cigarettes, I'm sure you probably smoke so many cigarettes, I don't even know. Anytime I've ever tripped, I would just quite literally after the peak, I would just sit there with my bong and like smoke so like through an ounce just sitting there. So I've definitely smoked quite a bit in a day. I don't know like the exact amount, but kind of tapering off that, we've got what are your thoughts on psychedelics as medicine, and would you do that? Well, I think personally, I mean, I'm not like super versed in like psychedelics for that like purpose. I don't know if they have like pain benefits of like if you have body pain. I don't know. When I take psychedelics, I'm obviously busy because I'm not taking a microdose, which I think a microdose would probably be more like medicinal in a certain sense because you're not like gone for 8 hours like doing whatever the fuck. I think for mental health, they are probably phenomenal. They kind of like change your perspective or get you to see through a different lens a little bit quicker than you might come to that conclusion without of having that trip. And that's my personal opinion. Some people are like, you could learn everything, you know, that you learn while tripping without taking that substance. And I'm like, sure. I just think it's going to take you longer to come to the conclusion that you just have these epiphanies of like, this is fucking stupid when you're tripping. And it's wild because I know other people can relate to that. But I think for your mental health, it's really, really good. It's phenomenal. You'll be laughing so hard you're crying. That's an amazing feeling. It really does like reset something in your body. You feel a little like hungover, like off, not like hungover, but like a shroom hangover the next like few days after you trip. For like 5 years, like a little while, I would have definitely considered myself like a psychonaut. I don't really trip nearly as much anymore, genuinely just because my gut health was so bad that waking up, throwing up almost every morning, I couldn't imagine like taking psychedelics and being on like that weak of a stomach, considering shrooms already always would kind of hurt my stomach. That's like a little bit hard on your stomach to eat 3.5 grams of dried mushrooms, but I think they could definitely be medicinal and have medicinal benefits. I don't know why, like for me, every time I take them, I feel like the coming up effect, like before they've really like smacked and I'm peaking, it starts to feel like there are gears, like something starts moving in my back. Like that's what it feels like to me. And it's not comfortable. It's kind of painful. And it happens the whole time I'm like coming down too. So I don't know if it has like, and that might not be universal at all, but I don't know if it has like, any sort of like pain relieving effects like an ibuprofen or like a Percocet or, you know, something along those lines. I feel like mentally it could be a game changer for sure. I do think that mushrooms should be legal because I'm kind of more on like the like wave of maybe make all drugs legal because it's just like easier to regulate them. Like fentanyl, this crisis doesn't need to be happening type shit. So I don't know. It's all crazy. Have you ever lived somewhere other than Michigan? Yes, I have never really talked to you guys too much about location. I figured that like when I started doing a bunch of dispensary hauls, it was kind of inevitable because the products are like state to state kind of different. Like every state has different packaging and different brands and not very many brands. Like the way cannabis works is not like very normal because of like the legalities of it. The companies have to have a license in every single state that they're present in. So it's very expensive to be in multiple states. So they have to be very big brands like Stizzy or like Cookies and shit like that to even like be in multiple states. So I just knew that me showing you the products I'm getting would probably be like so many people be like, those are from Michigan, like that's Michigan weed. But I actually was born in Ohio, spent most of my life growing up in Indiana. Indiana's a stretch though, because it like literally is like right on the Ohio border. Like if I would go to the grocery store, I'd be in Ohio, not in Indiana. Like everything I did was in Ohio. But yeah, I'm a Midwest baby and I wasn't actually born in Michigan. So how to get motivation to stay consistent daily for life, stretching, cooking, home, more. I personally like, okay, so there's a quote that I've literally been saying out loud to Kyle all the time recently that just has been resonating with me. You have to sharpen your own saw first. If you aren't taking care of you, you're not going to stay productive and have like a motivating type of energy. And it's not always like motivating. Like motivation is like not real. Like you can have motivation, but you kind of have to have like will, like determination, dedication, just to getting it done. Because you're not going to wake up every single day and be like, damn, I can't wait to work out and cook and like do all this stuff that like it might benefit your life. You might even love working out. You might love cooking. Eventually there's like burnout that you're like, wow, I'm kind of slightly tired of this, or like something in my routine needs to change. And that's also like another quote. If the routine works for you, it'll be a super, super easy routine to upkeep. It's not like fighting against your routine to like do it every day, if that makes sense. Like I love working out in the morning. Now, when it comes to like meditation, I want to meditate in the morning so bad. I want to like meditating in the morning so bad. I really love meditating at the end of my yoga sessions, but I feel like right in the morning when I first wake up, I'm ready to go. Like have some shit to do, opening up my computer to edit or like whatever it might be. And slowing down and starting to meditate is just like, I feel like it's like putting me back to sleep. And I just feel, for me, it's like an energy advert. Like I don't want to be necessarily like going from like a very wide awake, ready to do shit, then back to like falling asleep in meditation. Even if you don't feel like doing it, sometimes it's okay to give yourself a break. Other times, you know that even though you don't feel like doing it, you'll feel way better once you do it. That's me with like ice baths or cold plunges. I never, ever, ever am in the mood to really like do them, but I know that like afterwards I will not regret doing it. I will feel so good, so much more awake, so much ready to go. I don't know, when you find things that work for you, even though some days you don't want to do it, you know that like for the greater good of yourself you're gonna do it type shit. Before I go, I did want to quickly mention the merch. I'm in it right now. blazebrand.com volume 4 went crazy. Baked and Unbothered was something that I used as an Instagram caption like I want to say a year ago, but I could check. It's a pinned post, so it would only take a second. July 25th, 2022, I posted saying baked and unbothered. And I just knew from that moment that that was going to be something that I incorporated in merch. I loved the like saying of it. I loved like the way it sounds. I guess that was my first little Easter egg, if you will. But you guys ate the volume 4 collection up. The drop was insane, like actually crazy. You can shop it at blazebrand.com. There is so much. We've got baby tees like this. I also have like lounge sets, which are like tank top and little like, they're giving Sophie shorts, although they're not technically the brand Sophie short. And I've got the tank tops and the shorts like separately, so you can mix and match. If you are a girl like me who needs like a small top and like a large bottom, or like vice versa, you can do that, because I feel like that's always like, we need that. If you have to buy like 2 bikinis to have like the top and the bottom that fit you, that is just so frustrating. So I've got that whole situation. We've got sweat shorts, sweatpants, you name it, crew necks. There's so much going on over there, so much to shop. I'm excited to see y'all in it. So many of you guys have already sent me pictures, has told me thank you for like the free goodies, the mood mat, and oh my gosh, I just love it. It's so dope to have like a design that you dreamt up in your head and not only just put onto a sweatshirt. Like that's dope as hell. Like I could just wear my own sweatshirt and be like so over the moon about it, but the fact that you guys like buy it and support me and wear it and like get your own compliments on it and are going out there and like showing my brand to the world in a sense is like so dope. Like it's just the coolest feeling ever. I never really thought coming into this YouTube situation that I'd like love making merch the way I do. I never even thought that I'd be the one making it, like I'd be outsourcing it. But now the creativity, just getting the hands on, like all of it is everything, and I love it. You guys truly make that possible. Also, my Canadian babies, we recently opened shipping up to Canada, so that's also an option. I don't know if I've ever said that on here. So yeah, all my Canadians now can go shop their merch. We have had a couple orders from Canada right away. When I like announced on my Instagram that we opened it up to Canada, there were a couple of you guys that ran over and ordered some stuff. So go check it out. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Drop a like if you did. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed, because the ratio, that shit so annoying of subscribed and not subscribed. We need to get it up. Such a taunting analytic, just sitting there like staring at you like, yeah, these are the people that watch your videos and just never subscribe, and here are the people that are subscribed. Oh, so frustrating. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope to see you guys all in my next one. Until then, peace. I love y'all. Stay safe.
Yeah, I got one lawyer, got one in that day, the only two, man. How many times have I told you the truth, man? How many nights I've been woke, swerving them potholes, not trying to fuck up the wheels or fuck up the deals. I'm posted in Stockholm, it's me, the Owls, and the Twins, it's only the real.